Introduction. When a woman ignores you, it's easy to feel frustrated, confused, or even rejected. Most men instantly react by chasing harder, demanding answers, or over-explaining themselves, yet this only makes the situation worse. In female psychology, silence or withdrawal is often a subtle test to see how you handle pressure, maintain composure, and value yourself. The key is not to overreact, but instead to use reverse psychology, pulling back your energy, maintaining confidence, and letting your actions communicate strengths rather than desperation. When you don't feed into the attention game, you shift the dynamic in your favor, showing her that your self-worth doesn't depend on her validation. This introduction to reverse psychology will reveal why acting calmly and strategically when she ignores you can spark attraction, respect, and even curiosity, instead of pushing her further away. Don single quotes T chase her when it comes to relationships and attraction. One of the most common mistakes men make is chasing a woman too much, and this almost always backfires. The truth is, when you chase her, you place yourself in a position of weakness, signaling that you are willing to overinvest in someone who hasn't shown the same level of interest in you. This creates an imbalance of power where she becomes the prize and you become the pursuer, which in turn kills her attraction over time. Women are naturally drawn to men who value themselves, who demonstrate self-respect, and who do not beg for attention or validation. Chasing a woman not only makes you appear desperate, but it also communicates subconsciously that you do not see yourself as a high-value man who has options. Instead of chasing, you must learn to stand still, to hold your frame, and to let her come toward you if she's truly interested. This doesn't mean ignoring her or playing manipulative games. It means embodying the mindset that your life, your goals, and your inner peace are more important than constantly trying to win someone's approval. A woman who genuinely likes you will meet you halfway, she will invest in you, and she will show through her actions that she wants to be part of your life. If she doesn't, then your role is not to chase harder but to gracefully walk away and redirect your energy toward yourself and those who reciprocate. This approach doesn't just protect your dignity, it also reinforces your masculine presence, because nothing is more powerful than a man who knows his worth and refuses to compromise it for temporary affection. Remember, relationships should be built on mutual interest and respect, not on one person endlessly pursuing while the other withholds attention. When you stop chasing, you give her the space to feel your absence, to question her feelings, and to decide whether she truly values you. In many cases, stepping back creates more attraction than any amount of chasing ever could, because it communicates scarcity, self-respect, and strength. And if she doesn't respond or doesn't come back, then you have your answer. She was never truly interested to begin with, and you've saved yourself valuable time and emotional energy. The lesson here is simple but profound. Don't chase her. Live your life with purpose. Develop yourself into the kind of man who naturally draws people in, and understand that love and connection should flow effortlessly when two people truly want each other. Chasing not only diminishes your perceived value but also robs you of the natural joy of being wanted for who you are. So instead of exhausting yourself in pursuit, let her reveal whether she is genuinely worthy of your time, energy, and heart. 2. Stay calm and collected. Staying calm and collected is one of the most valuable life skills a person can develop, because it allows you to face challenges, conflicts, and unexpected events without losing control of yourself. Life is full of situations that can easily provoke anger, frustration, or panic. But when you learn to keep your composure, you not only handle problems more effectively, but you also gain the respect and trust of others. Being calm does not mean being passive or emotionless. Rather, it means that you are in charge of your emotions instead of letting them dictate your behavior. For example, when someone insults you or tries to provoke you, the impulsive reaction would be to lash out or defend yourself aggressively. But a calm and collected person pauses, breathes, and responds with reason rather than raw emotion. This self-control often leaves the other person disarmed, while you maintain your dignity and peace of mind. Calmness is also closely linked to clarity of thought. When the mind is stormed with panic or anger, it cannot think clearly, and decisions made in those moments are usually regrettable. By staying composed, you give yourself the mental space to see the bigger picture, weigh the options, and choose a response that serves you best in the long run. In high-pressure environments, whether at work, in relationships, or in personal crises, calmness becomes a strength that others rely on. People naturally gravitate toward those who remain steady under stress, because such individuals project confidence, stability, and reliability. Cultivating this quality requires practice and patience. Breathing techniques, mindfulness, and stoic reflection are some of the most powerful tools to develop inner calmness. It is also important to remind yourself that most things in life are not worth the emotional chaos we create over them. By adopting the perspective that you control how you react, you take back your power from external situations and people. In moments of conflict, rather than escalating tension, a calm person becomes the peacemaker who leads by example. Over time, this ability strengthens your resilience, improves your health by reducing stress, and deepens your relationships. Because People feel safe and respected in your presence. In essence, staying calm and collected is not just about handling situations better. It is about embodying a mindset that values peace over chaos, wisdom over impulse, and control over recklessness. It transforms you into a person who can face storms with unshakable steadiness. And that strength sets you apart in a world where most people are quick to lose their temper or composure. 3. Focus on yourself. Focusing on yourself is one of the most powerful lessons you can ever learn because it shifts your attention from chasing validation and external approval to cultivating inner growth, discipline, and self. Too often, people waste their energy comparing themselves to others, worrying about what others think or trying to please everyone at the cost of their own peace. But when you decide to make yourself the center of your own attention, everything in life starts to change. Focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish or ignoring others. It means taking responsibility for your own well-being, happiness, and progress before anything else. Think of it like filling your own cup first. Only when you are fulfilled, balanced, and strong can you give to others without resentment or burnout. When you focus inward, you become aware of your habits, your strengths, your weaknesses, and the areas of your life that truly need improvement. Instead of being distracted by the noise of social media, gossip, or societal pressures, you start setting goals that align with your personal vision. You learn to invest your time in skills, knowledge, fitness, or financial growth rather than seeking temporary gratification. This builds confidence, independence, and resilience because you are no longer dependent on external factors for your sense of worth. Another key element of focusing on yourself is setting boundaries, learning to say no to people and situations that drain your energy or disrespect your values. Boundaries protect your mental health and create space for self-care and growth. Over time, when you focus on yourself, you naturally attract better opportunities, healthier relationships, and deeper fulfillment because your energy is rooted in strength, not in desperation. People notice when someone is grounded, calm, and secure in who they are. It makes you magnetic without even trying. Ultimately, life becomes much more rewarding when you stop chasing people, status, or things and instead invest in becoming the best version of yourself. The truth is, the world reflects what you carry inside. If you cultivate peace, discipline, and self-love, your outer reality will eventually mirror that. So, focus on yourself not as an act of isolation, but as the foundation of a powerful life. The more you grow, the more you can give, inspire, and impact others. Your greatest responsibility is not to please everyone, it is to protect your own energy and continuously evolve into someone you are proud of. Give space, not pressure when it comes to building healthy relationships, whether romantic, family, or friendships. One of the most overlooked yet powerful principles is the idea of giving space rather than applying pressure. Many people mistakenly believe that closeness comes from constant presence, continuous communication, or demanding reassurance. In reality, suffocating someone with too much attention or expectation often pushes them away rather than bringing them closer. Giving space is not about neglect or indifference. It's about showing respect for the other person's individuality, boundaries, and need for self-expression. Pressure, on the other hand, breeds resistance. When someone feels cornered into making a choice, expressing affection, or spending time, their natural reaction is to withdraw. Humans value freedom, and any attempt to control or restrict that freedom creates tension. By learning to step back, you demonstrate trust and confidence in the relationship, which paradoxically makes the other person feel safer and more willing to engage with you. Giving space allows emotional breathing room. It lets the other person reflect, miss your presence, and choose to come toward you willingly. This creates genuine connection rather than forced obligation. It also cultivates balance, because when two individuals retain their personal independence within a relationship, they avoid losing themselves in it. Furthermore, giving space is a reflection of emotional maturity and self-control. It shows that you are secure enough in yourself not to cling desperately for validation. Instead of over-texting, demanding answers, or forcing time together, you focus on your own growth, interests, and inner stability, which makes you more attractive and inspiring. Pressure communicates fear of loss, while space communicates strength and trust. The best bonds are formed not by force but by freedom, the freedom to choose, to give love without being coerced, and to grow side by side rather than being trapped in each other's shadow. When you replace pressure with patience, you allow love and respect to flow naturally, creating a deeper, more lasting bond built on mutual choice rather than emotional demands. In every relationship, remember this truth. Closeness is not measured by how tightly you hold on, but by how confidently you can let go and trust that the connection will remain. 5. Mirror her behavior. One of the most powerful yet subtle psychological tools in human connection is the ability to mirror another person's behavior. And when applied in relationships, especially with women, it becomes an almost invisible way to build trust, attraction, and a sense of familiarity. Mirroring her behavior does not mean copying her every move like a parody, but rather reflecting aspects of her tone, body language, energy level, and communication style in a natural and genuine way. When you mirror, you are essentially telling her subconscious, we are on the same wavelength. Humans are naturally drawn to people who seem familiar and aligned with them, and this is why mirroring is so effective. For example, if she is speaking softly and calmly, and you match that softness in your voice, she instantly feels more comfortable. If she leans in while talking, and you also lean in slightly, it creates a rhythm of intimacy without forcing it. This is not manipulation, but rather a way of creating rapport, because people feel safe and understood when they sense that someone reflects their own state of being on a deeper level. Mirroring helps reduce resistance. Instead of pushing your energy onto her, you are flowing with hers, which makes her more receptive to your presence and influence. However, the key to making mirroring work is subtlety and authenticity. You should never exaggerate or try to mirror things that feel unnatural. If she crosses her legs and you immediately do the same in an obvious way, it will come off as mocking or insincere. Instead, give it space and timing. Sometimes just matching her pacing in conversation, her enthusiasm in storytelling, or her pauses in silence is enough to build that invisible bond. Mirroring also extends beyond body language. It can be applied to emotions and mindset. If she is excited about something, mirror her excitement with supportive energy. And if she is sharing something serious, mirror her seriousness with empathy and calm presence. This shows emotional intelligence, making her feel seen and understood on a level most men miss. What makes mirroring so powerful is that it bypasses conscious thought and connects directly with the subconscious. She won't be able to pinpoint why she feels closer and safer with you. She'll just feel it. In dating, friendships, and even professional settings, those who mirror effectively are often perceived as more likable, trustworthy, and magnetic, because they reduce the gap between me and you and create a sense of us. Still, mirroring should never be used as a trick or game. It should be rooted in genuine interest and attentiveness. The more present you are in the moment, the more naturally mirroring will happen without forced effort. By tuning into her energy and reflecting it back authentically, you create a space where she feels at ease, valued, and connected. Ultimately, mirroring her behavior is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about aligning yourself with her rhythm, so that two people can flow together in harmony instead of clashing in disconnection. 6. Show subtle indifference. One of the most powerful traits you can develop in relationships, social dynamics, and even professional environments is the ability to show subtle indifference. Indifference does not mean you stop caring about yourself, your values, or your goals. It means you stop over-investing in outcomes you cannot control and stop placing others on a pedestal. Many people mistakenly believe that showing constant attention, validation, and reassurance is the path to connection, but in reality, it often creates the opposite effect. It signals neediness and dependence. When you demonstrate subtle indifference, you communicate that your sense of self-worth is not dictated by how someone treats you, how quickly they respond, or whether they approve of you. This calm, unbothered energy is attractive because it reflects inner strength, self-control, and high value. Subtle indifference is not about being cold, rude, or arrogant. It is about mastering the art of not reacting emotionally when others try to test you, provoke you, or withhold their attention. For example, if someone ignores your message, instead of double texting or chasing, you simply continue with your life as though nothing has changed. If someone tries to provoke you with passive-aggressive comments, you don't argue, simply smile, stay composed, or even walk away. By not giving away your energy so easily, you maintain psychological leverage and silently command respect. This approach protects you from manipulation because manipulators feed on emotional overreactions. When they see you as steady and unaffected, they lose power over you. It also makes you more appealing in relationships, because people naturally value what is not desperate for validation. A subtle indifference creates mystery, intrigue, and an unspoken challenge. Others begin to wonder what makes you so composed, and why you are not easily swayed. To master this, practice emotional discipline. Pause before reacting. Remind yourself that your time and energy are precious, and focus on what you can control rather than obsessing over what others do. Subtle indifference also teaches you to live from abundance rather than scarcity. You know that if one opportunity slips away, another will come. And if one person disrespects you, you can always walk away without fear. Over time, this mindset builds resilience and makes you immune to emotional games. People will notice your quiet confidence, and while they may not always admit it, they will respect it. In every interaction, your indifference sends a powerful, silent message. I value myself enough not to beg for your attention. That is what separates those who command respect from those who chase it. Ultimately, showing subtle indifference is about mastering yourself. It is the ability to remain calm, grounded, and self-assured no matter what storms are happening around you. And when you can do that consistently, you become someone others cannot ignore. 7. Use social proof. One of the most powerful psychological triggers in human behavior is the concept of social proof, and learning how to use it effectively can transform the way you influence, persuade, and connect with others in every area of life. Social proof is based on the idea that people look to others for cues on how to think, feel, and behave, especially in situations of uncertainty or when making important decisions. This principle works because human beings are wired to seek safety in numbers. If a crowd believes something to be true or valuable, an individual is more likely to adopt the same belief without questioning it deeply. For example, when you see a restaurant with a long line outside while another next door is completely empty, your brain instantly interprets the crowded one as better even without knowing anything about the food. This is the invisible force of social proof at play. In modern life, this principle manifests in many forms: reviews on Amazon, testimonials on websites, likes and followers on social media, celebrity endorsements, or simply word-of-mouth recommendations from friends and family. Each of these creates a psychological shortcut that helps people decide quickly what to trust and where to place their time, money, or energy. To use social proof effectively, you must first recognize what kind of influence your audience responds to most strongly. Some people are swayed by expert opinions, others by popularity, and some by relatable peers who mirror their own values and struggles. For example, if you are building a personal brand, sharing testimonials or success stories from past clients can show potential clients that others have trusted you and benefited from your services. If you are in sales, displaying statistics like over 10,000 happy customers creates a sense of credibility and momentum that reassures prospects they are making the right choice. Even in relationships and social settings, subtle forms of social proof operate. People are more attracted to individuals who are seen as desirable or respected by others because it signals value and status. The key lesson here is that social proof is not about manipulation but about building trust by providing visible evidence that others have already validated your worth. To apply this principle, actively collect and showcase positive feedback, highlight real-life success cases, and align yourself with respected authorities or communities. At the same time, remember that authenticity is crucial. Fake reviews, exaggerated claims, or forced endorsements often backfire, damaging trust rather than reinforcing it. The beauty of social proof lies in its ability to reduce doubt and hesitation by showing that the decision someone is about to make has already been made safely by others before them. The more relatable, specific, and credible your examples of social proof, the stronger the impact will be. Ultimately, mastering the use of social proof empowers you to guide behavior without pressuring, to inspire confidence without hard selling, and to create influence that feels natural, trustworthy, and enduring. 8. Wait for her to reinitiate. In relationships and attraction, one of the most overlooked yet powerful principles is learning to wait for her to reinitiate rather than constantly chasing or overextending yourself. Many men, driven by fear of losing her interest, bombard a woman with calls, texts, and attention, not realizing that overpursuit often backfires, creating pressure instead of attraction. The truth is, genuine interest is always revealed in action, and when you step back, you give her space to show whether she truly values the connection. Waiting for her to reinitiate teaches you patience, self-control, and respect for her freedom. It demonstrates confidence, because a man who is secure in himself doesn't beg for validation. He knows that if she cares, she will reach out. This shift in mindset also prevents you from wasting energy on one-sided relationships, where you are doing all the emotional labor while she remains passive. Instead, you allow reciprocity to naturally unfold, and if it doesn't, you gain clarity sooner rather than later. By stepping back, you communicate silently that your time and energy are valuable. And this creates a subtle but powerful dynamic where she begins to wonder about you, miss you, and decide whether she wants to invest more. Waiting for her to reinitiate is not about playing manipulative games, but about establishing healthy boundaries and balance. It prevents resentment, because instead of feeling drained by constant effort, you give yourself permission to observe her level of investment. If she texts, calls, or makes plans, you now have proof that she values the relationship enough to contribute. If she doesn't, you have your answer without needing to beg for clarity. This lesson also reflects a deeper truth about attraction. It grows in space, not suffocation. By holding back and waiting, you allow curiosity, anticipation, and desire to build, which are the very emotions that keep relationships exciting. Moreover, this principle applies beyond romance, whether in friendships, business partnerships, or family ties. Those who value you will always find a way to reinitiate contact. The most valuable relationships are not forced, they are naturally reciprocal. Thus, patience becomes your greatest ally. When you learn to wait, you stop acting out of desperation and start acting from a place of strength, where your worth is not tied to another's immediate response. Over time, this makes you more attractive, more respected, and more grounded in your interactions. So the next time you feel tempted to chase, pause and remember, attraction is not sustained by constant pursuit, but by balance and mutual effort. Wait for her to reinitiate and you will discover not only who truly values you, but also the peace and power that comes from knowing you don't need to force anything meant for you.